we like to think creatively, think outside the box, and figure out how to get a deal capitalized that others may not want to think about it kind of outside the box kind of fashion.
So creative opportunities in different markets.
Yeah.
We're here in Denver. Mm-hmm. So what are you seeing in Denver or maybe the mountain states that other people aren't seeing right now?
We just talked to a sponsor right now that's doing affordable housing up in the mountain areas, in the resort areas, and that's space that has been long needed for all of the support staff for
Jobs.
The resorts.
Yeah.
And a lot of times the support staff has to live an hour and a half away from where they're working at the resort. So this sponsor that we're talking to is doing affordable housing close to the resort, so they don't have to have that hour and a half drive.
It's amazing because I hear so much of that is that, these are beautiful places.
Yeah.
They become out, you can't price yourself out of the market. So that so you're looking, your vision and the difference of the hill you'll die on. Tell me a little bit about that.
The hill we'll die on is finding really good sponsors that have a great track record and just have a deal that needs to be looked at in a little bit different way, that needs a little bit more creativity, that needs just someone that's going to help them collaboratively figure out how to build a capital stack in a way that isn't in a very small box.
Yeah.
And that's really where Impex thrives, is helping sponsors kind of have a collaborative discussion on where to bring the capital, how to bring the capital, and just think creatively about it. And that's the beauty of what we do.
I think one of the beautiful things is you mentioned you and Ash are just great people. I mean that. When I first met you, outgoing, you were kind, you gave time.
Yeah.
And I think people oftentimes in this industry become an expert and sometimes a little too elevated, and they don't give people their time.
Yeah.
They don't look to pay it forward, look to have a conversation with someone. And I think to your point, of creativity can come from anywhere. Yeah. And so finding the right partners is really important. So as you define, you mentioned you're in how many states now?
19, 20 different states. Yeah.
And that's you're in almost half the states of America.
Yeah.
And you have probably tens of thousands of people you could work with across real estate. So how do you focus your time and attention? How do you find those right partners, whether it's credentials, whether it's reputation, up and comers, Is there something that you found, a secret that you and Ash have found to go and find those diamonds in the rough?
There really isn't.
Okay.
When it comes to that, it's really just putting in the time and the effort to meet as many different sponsors as we can.
Okay.
And let that process of getting to know each other happen organically. Okay. And as we go through that getting to know each other process, the people that we want to work with are just going to bubble up to the top.
Got it.
And the ones that have more of a rigid way of looking at real estate and real estate finance and putting capital stacks together, they're going to go do great things. But for those that want to think a little bit more creatively outside the box, that's where we thrive. And so when we have conversations with sponsors that are thinking about putting their capital together in a certain way, we'll kind of throw out some ideas, and if that starts to snowball into some really interesting conversation, then those are the people we want to work with.
How do you think about communication? How do you think about establishing rapport with people and then getting a deal done? Is it usually happen overnight, in 30 days? Or is it sometimes you're building that reputation and telling them, hey, this could take 3 months, 6 months? How quickly do you all move into a new relationship?
It can be within 2 weeks.
Okay.
With a relationship that comes from a business partner of ours.
Yep.
That knows that other party, and so that'll help shorten that time frame.
Yep.
It really comes down to getting in front of and meeting people face to face over time, and so that's why we spend so much time coming to different conferences, spending a lot of time, on airplanes, getting to see and meet people where they are, asking them to come to our headquarters in Houston to meet face to face. And it happens all the time. We have a conversation online or on the phone, and yes, that's a great way to start a relationship.
Yep.
But the only way to do that in earnest is face to face, breaking bread together, sharing stories, and really having that human connection that's behind and underneath what the numbers are saying in their pro forma and in their pitch deck. So we need both.
I love that.
We need the pitch deck and the pro forma, but we also need the human story behind it.
I love that because there's so much now with AI being able, they're talking about interviews and online Zooms where people are getting faked out and they're losing, that people are, whether it's having multiple jobs, and I could see the same thing for real estate, is, you could tell a great story if there's a screen in front of you telling you what to say. But when you're sitting here face to face, there's no there's nothing telling me what to say. I'm having the conversation with you. Right. So if I don't have the history, I don't have the track record, and I'm going to fail. Yeah. And so I think you're right. It's like that, to me, that IRL of doing business in real estate, because we're not dealing with $10,000, $50,000 deals here, right? I mean, what's your average deal? Is it? I'm assuming over 50 million, 80
60 million is about the average deal size. That's right. Yeah.
What are some of the larger deals you've done?
We're working on a couple of really large deals right now. Two just happen to be resort mixed use deals. One in the Panhandle, Florida, and another one just outside of Park City, Utah. Okay. Amazing projects. In both of these scenarios, the sponsor had an amazing vision, an amazing business plan, but what they really needed was a creative structure on how to get the financing to execute on that vision. And we've brought the right people to the table that were able to bring both the debt and the equity. Yep. And we're coming in as the loan guarantor. So in both instances, one's about 120 million, the other one's about 250 million. And in both cases, the sponsor and the capital team that's been put together has just been fantastic.
Right. I think that's the wild thing is you can do all the work up front for weeks on end, and then the deal falls apart. Yeah. Is there ever, and we don't have to name names, but is there ever a deal that stood out over your history that maybe you learned some valuable lessons from? You don't have to name the name, but was there anything, a valuable lesson?
Every deal, we learned something new. Just today on the panel, I learned something new about HUD financing that I didn't know before. I've been doing this 25 years. Yeah. And so the old saw that, the minute or anyone thinks they know it all, or they've reached the pinnacle, or there isn't anything else to learn, is the minute that it's game over. Yep. So the way we approach it at Impex is every day there's something new, because the industry is changing every day. AI, or the way interest rates are interacting with what we're doing, and the decisions, the investment decisions that we make, all of these different factors play a part in how we make investment decisions. And so every day I'm learning something new. It's amazing.
It's interesting because as you talk about AI, so many things can be done remotely. So many things can be done through technology. As you're building out this portfolio, you could choose to just do Texas. Mm-hmm. What is it that makes you want to go to Florida and come to Denver and to find, is it the pockets and the opportunity within those specific markets and finding local partners that know those markets better than anyone else? Is that what it is? Is that the differentiation?
That's exactly what it is.
Okay.
So we've been looking at doing deals in California, for example, for 5, 6, 7 years, and it just didn't happen. We finally closed our first deal in Los Angeles just 3 weeks ago.
Congrats. All right.
Thank you. And the only reason we did that is because we had a local sponsor that's from Los Angeles, knows LA, has been in LA for 30 years, and we had the confidence that they know the market, they know the sub-market, they know the intricacies of doing business in that city, and so that gives us the confidence to work with a group like that. And so same thing here in Denver. We have 3 or 4 Denver-based sponsors and partners that we work with. They know the sub-markets, they know what they're doing, and so when we come alongside them on the capital side, then they can do what they do best, and we can focus on helping them out on the capital side.
Tell us about that deal in LA. Is it housing? Is it mixed use? Something what is it that stands out to see opportunity and bet on a neighborhood or bet on a piece of piece of land. What are you looking for? Is it a mix of housing? I have a belief of taco shops and coffee shops and local vibes. Is that what you look for too, or do you have something different?
Again, what we're really solving for is that sponsor that's local,
Okay.
that knows the taco shop and the coffee shop and
Yep.
where those are. And in every city across the country, if the coffee shop's on the right side of the street, that's the right side of the street to be on.
Sure.
But if you're doing a deal across the street from the coffee shop, that may be the wrong side of the street to do it, even though
Yep.
it's right across the street. And so what we're doing is really leveraging off of the local expertise of that sponsor and saying, okay, is this the right side of the street to be on?
Yeah.
Or is it not the right side of the street to be on? And us, in Houston, it would take us years to figure that out. But by partnering with local sponsors that know their market, know those submarkets, know those pockets, know which neighborhoods to be in and which neighborhoods to be careful of, that gives us all the confidence to make those investment decisions.
So all this travel, you have a family. I know Ash has a family. He's actually with his son right now down in Texas. Tell me about that. Family. How do you balance work and family? Do you have family in the business as well? Or are you trying to get your family involved? Tell me a little bit about that.
That's a everyday decision. The passion and love that I have for commercial real estate and having the privilege, literally, of being able to go to all these different cities across the country. Today here in Denver, next week in New York City,
Okay.
a couple of weeks ago in Phoenix, last week in Dallas. Our home base is in Houston. I love what I do,
Yeah.
and I love meeting all the people that are in this business. And so every day it's a balance, but there are no easy answers.
Okay.
I don't think.
And then the lightning round.
Yeah.
Who's the best team in sports? right now?
Astros.
Astros, okay. So baseball. How about football? The football team?
The Houston Texans, of course.
Texans, okay.
Yeah.
Basketball?
The Houston Rockets.
Oh man,
no
you
question
are
about it.
you are Houston nonstop. Okay. Best restaurant in Houston?
So I'm going to defer to our CEO, Ash
Yep.
Shaw. Looking out the window of his corner office in Houston, in the Houston Galleria, is an amazing Indian restaurant called Musafer. And they were a part of the first group of Houston restaurants that got a Michelin star.
Wow.
Fascinating, amazing story. So yeah, that's kind of the Impex.
We're going there when I come down.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Love it. And here's the other crazy. I mean, obviously, insurance is a wild story. Houston, being right there in a place on the water, a little humid, we're in a business of risk mitigation. What are your thoughts around that, of insurance, risk mitigation? How do you think about the long-term effects of storms and whether it's fire, water, all of that? Do you have a take on that?
I think obviously we all need the commercial property insurance to get our deals across the finish line.
Yep.
Lender driven, all those requirements. Different cities have different risk profiles.
Yeah.
Denver, Phoenix, Dallas, Houston, Atlanta, wherever it may be. Insurance is just one of those things that we have to interact with.
It's affecting everybody, I guess, right
It
now.
affects
right?
everybody.
Yeah.
We all have to factor that into our underwriting,
Yep.
into what we're doing, into our pro forma models. We're all trying to solve for how to reduce that cost.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, we know we need to have it, and so we just make the best of it.
Thinking about differentiation of product, I think one of the things, you talked about is being in person and the memories we create, whether it's through a great office complex, a great retail store experience, a great building we walk into, and we'll never forget that smell.
Yeah.
That place, it was funny, I was talking with Adrian, and I go, we were here a year ago at Four Seasons. He goes, you sure? I go, I won't ever forget it, because I remember the flowers and walking up the staircase, those little touches. Is that something you think about too, is creating memorable experiences for the customers and the people who come into the buildings that you invest in?
Yeah, it happens all the time, especially in the office that we're at in Houston. It has just a warm, open, welcoming feeling coming in the front door. And so when we walk through that door every day,
Yeah.
we get that feeling. And then when our business partners or clients or vendors come visit with us, they get that same feeling when they walk into our building. the space that Ash has built out, overlooking the Galleria Mall and one of the most iconic intersections in all of Houston, that creates a human feeling being in that space, and that can't be replicated, and it's extremely important. So whether it be an office building, the taco shop, or the coffee shop, you have that smell, you have the people, the tables and the chairs, the atmosphere, how that's been built out, all of that plays a part into the customer experience, and it's what brings people back to that space.
Bringing them back.
If there wasn't that connection like you here at the Four Seasons, then if you didn't have that pleasant, wonderful memory, then maybe the next year you're thinking, maybe not need to go back to that one. But you had a great experience, so absolutely we're going to go back to that event or go back to that hotel.
I was just at a place yesterday, and I'll never forget how hot it was in that place. And I never want to go back to that place again because they didn't turn the AC on. You're exactly right. Or it's not clean. Yes. And I will never forget. Yeah. You know, if you go to a hotel or a building or a lobby, you know. So thank you yourself, David, but also Ash, for making an impact on me and other people and paying it forward. You obviously have built an incredible reputation. And I wish you the best to 19, 20, 21 states as you continue to grow. So thank you very much.
Congratulations to you and everything you're doing.
Thank you. Yeah. We'll see you in Atlanta soon.
God willing, absolutely.
All right, you got it.